Hey there. I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Hmm. Can you hear me? You can't hear me either?
Hello, hello.
Hey, Mackenzie.
Well, it's a good thing we were getting on early because I am figuring out technical difficulties on my end. I thought the hotel would have reasonable Wi-Fi, or it was working. And now it's not really working, so I'm using my phone as a hotspot.
Excellent. Well, you're doing okay.
Status.
Um, Biggs, how about you?
Can Biggs hear us?
I don't think so. We can't hear her either. Still can't hear.
So many technical difficulties. Hello. Seems like you're having technical difficulties as I'm having technical.
Audio settings, look, test speaker working, test mic working, 1, 2, 3, also working.
So now I hear you.
Well, you might hear her through my phone because she called me
Ah,
on. Um, in Zoom, are you able to go down to where the microphone is and select different inputs?
Yeah, audio, test speaker, microphone, yeah. Same as system, can you hear me now?
No.
I'm sorry for that.
But not in like that part of Zoom, but in like the lower left-hand corner of the actual Zoom window as well, there's like an actual like little like microphone icon.
and don't click the icon, click the arrow next to it.
Oh, actually, no, I guess yours is slightly different than mine, but somewhere down along the bottom for the audio. Oh, well, actually, yours is showing up as like a little like headset or something. I can't quite see what it's saying. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep. There we go.
Stupid scheiß.
What was the trick?
It was set on some headphone something. I don't know. It's a brand new computer, so it's always, every computer has new different things.
Yes.
So that's why. Probably, I guess.
Excellent. All right, I'm glad it's all working now.
All good.
I don't know if you could hear what we were saying before you got your audio working, Biggs, but I was also having technical difficulties because I decided, so I'm in Connecticut for work right now,
Yeah.
and rather than going up to my parents' house tonight, I figured I'd go up tomorrow morning because the Wi-Fi at their house is terrible. So I'm like, oh, the hotel is going to have better Wi-Fi than what's at my parents' house, so I'll do that. And the Wi-Fi here is horrendous, and I
Sucks.
am now using my phone as a hotspot. So
Oh, nice. It's yeah, if somebody's complaining that the Philippines doesn't have a good Wi-Fi,
Yeah.
yeah, it's America and Germany is the worst, by the way. They're horrible, 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 horrible.
oh.
We need to all move to South Korea. Apparently, they've solved the problem.
Well, I was just in China and everything is AI, AI, AI. So they're miles ahead of us.
Where are you today?
I'm in South Carolina.
You're in South Carolina.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm spent 6 days here, and I'm flying on Sunday to the Netherlands for 48 hours and then to the Philippines. So that's why I'm a little like, don't know what time it is, I'm forcing myself to stay awake to be on the American time, but then I'm going 13 hours backwards.
Yeah.
But that's okay. It's all good. When you do the dive shows, you don't it doesn't matter because you just force yourself you don't have jet lag. So the more you work, the better it is in my eyes.
Yeah. Hey,
And
so
when I'm in the Philippines, then I'm diving, so it's okay.
I'm sure you're going to cover this during the presentation, but how do you get to the resort?
Well, to the resorts, you get to either via Manila or via Cebu. So
if you fly to Manila, then what?
yeah, and then you take a connecting flight down to the islands. So it's like a 1 hour flight, going up, having a coffee, snack, and back down. So there's, depending on the major islands we are on, is like 6 to 8 flights a day, and big aircrafts, like Airbuses, not the grasshopper planes you have here.
Yeah.
The small props, so they're quite big.
And the same from Cebu?
From Cebu, it's mainly by ferry. So there you have to go by fast ferry. So it just depends.
Got it.
On where you go, yeah. But you can fly from California. You now have American also flying, American Airline, I think, flying, or United. One of them two are flying directly to Manila, besides Philippine Airlines.
So United and Philippine both do it.
Yeah.
I don't think American does, but maybe.
Then it's United. One of the American ones.
Yeah, it's United.
It's United, and
Yeah.
they're doing, I think, 3 flights a week.
I'm on United in just a couple of weeks to Manila.
Yeah, there you go. Are you flying to Manila?
I'm flying to Manila.
Oh wow, where are you going?
I am going to Anilao
Oh, very
with
good.
Brooke Peterson to Crystal Blue.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
Perfect. You go to Mike Patrick.
Yes. So I've been to Anilao several times, but I've never been to Crystal Blue, so it's going to be a whole new thing.
Oh, fantastic. Then you would definitely love it where we are. We are like in the Anilao with white sand and white angle when you turn around, so to speak. The best of both worlds.
So if you were going to go for next time, if I was going to go to Anilao and then come to see you either before or after, sounds like that would be hard.
Yeah, then it's only 2 hours to Manila, right? And then you just get a flight down to the islands.
Yep.
So that's easy, and then a flight back. And we have a big new airport in Tagbilaran in Bohol. It's actually an international airport. Before Corona, they were about to open up flights from Hong Kong, but now we only have South Korea flights. That's all we have at the moment. And but at least it's not weather depending. So it's VHF, so you can land also in the dark. We have evening flights, which wasn't possible before.
If you have flights from South Korea, then I can fly from San Francisco to Seoul and then.
No, they go from what's the other airport called? Funny one.
Oh.
There's one from I think Ichinon, and one from Busan
Uh-huh.
from
Yeah, yeah,
Busan.
yeah.
From Busan, yeah. So they have two flights going there. But usually, you know, when you go from San Francisco, Manila, you can connect straight through Palm. It's easy.
Okay.
I would trust that more. And then you have one long leg and then just an hour flight. At least you're in the Philippines.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's easy. For
Next
sure.
time. Next time.
Next time. No excuse now, huh?
Yeah. Well, I
We
already have
have
flights for this
we
one.
actually
So
have the German television coming in May. They're doing a documentary for 2 weeks on the mimic octopus, so no pressure that we gotta find it. Yeah, we have a lot of octopus where we are in Bohol, so we go there. And May is pretty cool. They also have the mating season, so you can go out on a night dive and see them mating, which is
Wow.
pretty cool. But in Anilo, Mike Bartrick has the amazing blackwater diving, huh?
Yeah, but I
So
won't
that's
do
cool.
that.
Yeah, we also don't do that.
I'm
I
afraid of
don't.
the dark.
And my guys are already working, you know, 15 hours a day. I don't need to have
That's
them
enough.
work 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it gets dark at 6, so they could just go on a night dive.
Yeah.
If you do it, I always believe if you do something, do it properly or don't do it at all.
Yeah.
So, you know, the guys are not trained for it, and Mike is the guru in it.
Yes.
So I said, well, if you want to do Blackwater, go to Mike.
Yeah.
And don't depend on us, definitely, for sure. But yeah, you have there you have a lot of macro sites. We also have one special site. It's only 30 feet deep, and you just dive whatever two dives 2 hours or something, and
Yeah.
it's not much coral. It's just sand, and then you just look for blue ring, mimic, wonderpuss, pygmy squid, any of the things on the bucket lists. But you can't take everyone there because it's, you know, if you have a beginner there, they get bored and they kick up the sand.
Yeah.
You have flying octopus then. So we only go with special people.
Well,
Hey, don't say that about me.
I've always been told I was special, but I'm not sure what people meant.
Yeah, special people.
Yeah.
But it's pretty cool.
Excellent.
I
Sounds
like
like
it a lot.
fun. I am friends with cephalopods, so you know I enjoy
Yeah.
seeing.
He will love it. He will love it for sure. And the thing is, we also have the mandarin fish out the front, so we have them as well. And we have pygmies still in every sea fan, which is quite rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we also protect it. So we tell the photographer, if you've done 5 or 10 shots of a pygmy, our dive guide will knock you on the shoulder and say, move on to the next one, you know, instead of 50 million thousand lumen and a flash and a whatnot, and then you have pygmy on a stick, fried,
Roasted pygmy.
roasted pygmy. So yeah, but quite interesting. No, it's still very untouched diving. There's only 2 other dive operators beside us who are active, so you're pretty much alone. But it would be interesting to see how you like Anila. Who did you stay with before there?
Before I stayed at Ayanyar.
Oh, Ayana, yeah.
INR. And I thought the diving at INR was good. You know, frankly, I thought the food at INR was terrible. Room was fine.
Well, our food, it's so terrible that you're definitely gonna put on 10 pounds. Not taking any thing on that, so they have to join Weight Watchers after the trip.
Yeah,
for sure.
it's a good problem to have.
Yeah, exactly. Food is just as important as diving and accommodation in my eyes. So
Yes, yes, indeed.
That is 100% true. Diving and food are equal partners in a great vacation.
yeah, definitely. And usually one is missing, you know, you go somewhere in the middle of nowhere and you have basic accommodation and whatever food, and then phenomenal diving. So having all three is unique, obviously. Yeah, brings it in a different category, but it's not so easy to find. And you know, the good thing is just being 5 weeks at back-to-back shows, you see the people you book on the year before, and they book on every year, and they go like, okay, I do this and I put something else on it. And then all the extras we do, they didn't. So I don't need all of this. And now they're going like, I miss it when I go somewhere else. So always something, you know. We all come to an age where we're not backpackers anymore. So it's nice to have the warm chocolate muffin between the dives and the coffee and the hot towels and everything else. And you just walk yourself like a king or princess onto the boat, and everything is done.
I like the idea of the warm chocolate muffins.
And the cappuccino, yeah.
Oh yeah. I like that idea.
See, and this is where it was bad for me with my main start into diving is like one of my first dive trips was with Rosenberg over to Atmosphere. And like, it's like, oh shit, this is like the
Spoiled
right
for
way.
life.
This is fantastic. Like, this is
Ruined.
where everyone is. It's like, oh no, this is just when you've been doing it for 30 years, this is where you go. It's like, oh, this is quality.
Instead of starting in Bonaire where you have to set everything up and just swim 30 minutes against the current and then swim with the current. I did that last year and I was quite shocked how they're diving over there. I was like, you want me to swim against the current? Are you nuts? Okay, whatever. So
yeah,
interesting and not much to see. It's clear water and it's nice, but obviously when you're used to having a treasure hunt on every dive, even good, bad, or whatever visibility, and then you see very small, minimal amount, is very different.
Yes, I remember being on a cruise with my parents, and I spent a couple of days, AWOL diving, off of the cruise as excursions, and I think it was in Cayman or Curacao or something, and I get on the boat, and that was it. They were just like, okay, here you go, like set up your own stuff. I'm like an animal? Are you kidding me? Barbaric.
Yeah.
Where's my mom?
Especially the briefings. He goes, okay, we jump in, we swim against the current. I'm pretty big. I have a fluorescent shirt on. If you don't see me, then you shouldn't be diving. If you go too deep, I don't care. You know what your depth is, and I'll see you on the boat. It's like,
I love that briefing though. Yeah. You go too deep, I don't care. Whatever.
There was children on the boat. I was like, good example.
Excuse me 1 second.
That is wild.
Crazy.
Now
I know why Margot loves the Philippines.
What was that?
Now I know why Margot loves the Philippines with Kitsi Camp.
I just put in a deposit to go up to God's Pocket in British Columbia. And their boat has a nice little elevator on it to get you up and out of the water. It's like, oh, this is going to be luxurious. Obviously, it's going to be freezing ass cold and all that. But it's like, oh man, a dive boat with an elevator? Yeah. What is this?
Well, we just went to China where Renee was training the full face mask, special forces, whatever. And we went to Sanya and we went on this, I don't know, I call it Fantasy Island, with probably, I don't know how many millions of Chinese on there going on ferries across, driving around in golf carts. And they do discover scuba. It's as big as a football field. And it's an elevator that goes down. The instructors are lined up in the water. They have no fins on. The elevator goes in the water. They put on the BCD. They hold them by the tank. No fins. 15 minutes, 20 minutes. Have the pictures done. Out next, like a sausage factory. It's like, oh my God, that shouldn't be allowed. And then you wonder when they come to Philippines and you see exactly the same thing. I've seen it in Panglao, where they do discover scuba with no fins on. It's like, are you crazy?
That is wild.
Yeah, it's not normal, but 1.4 billion people. I guess there's only one way to handle it. So it was an eye opener, that's for sure.
Yeah, that is for sure. How are you doing, Nancy?
I'm doing well.
Hi, Nancy. Sorry, we are chatting away.
That's okay. I'm just listening. Actually, I'm a little concerned. I had scheduled to go on a walk with somebody that through the Nextdoor app. That we had done a walk a couple weeks ago. We were going to do one once a week, but last week it was raining. So we rescheduled for today and he didn't show up and he hasn't responded to any of my messages. I'm hoping he's okay. He was supposed to meet me at 11 o'clock at Lovers in Monterey and nothing.
Wow. That's not a good sign.
No. I don't have direct contact information from him. I have to go through the Nextdoor app, but every time I've communicated with him through that, he's been very responsive. So
Let's hope all is
Yeah,
okay.
he's okay.
yeah, so too.
Hey, Brad.
Hey,
There's just been a
Hey.
whole round of technical difficulties today, so it's a good thing that you're showing up. I had technical difficulties. Had technical difficulties. It's been
yeah, I just had to fix the link in the website. I made a mistake to this meeting. I made a mistake I've made before, which is to copy the link from the newsletter directly, which I didn't realize is a link to a link. It's not a direct link to Zoom. So
Oh, the one that's on the website?
yeah, if I click basically the link that's in the MailChimp newsletter takes you to MailChimp, the MailChimp takes you to Zoom. If you click on it, doesn't work out of the current doesn't work correctly, right? So I have to click through it to find the correct link. This is kind of the way it works. It's kind of a strange thing. It looks like it's the correct link, but it's not. It just all depends on how you copy it in the website. It's the link itself says Zoom in the link, but it's actually the if you click on it, it's not what it says it is. Which is just the way links work these days. It's just my mistake for not getting that right.
Interesting.
It's deceptive.
Technology.
Susan's on
maybe
her
we'll-
way. She's still at work,
Okay.
and I'm not even at home right now. So
Well, maybe we'll get started. I'm not sure where everyone is. It's even like Jim and Helga, we usually have them around and all that. So I'm not sure where everyone is tonight. Unless there's something going on that I'm not aware of, which could easily be the case.
Super Bowl is on Sunday, huh?
Yeah.
That's true.
Busy making their guacamole.
But we'll get started, and as people filter in, they can join in here. And Paul's got this recording, so we'll have that on the YouTube channel and all that good stuff. So with that, what announcements do I have? Mini comp. So this month is eggs. So we'll do the mini comp after Biggs's presentation and paying dues and all that good stuff, the normal for the beginning of the year. And with that, we'll hand the reins over to Biggs to present on Philippines and diving at some of the resorts that she's connected with.
Hi guys. For
Hi.
some of you who don't know me, Mackenzie knows me many years now, I think. My name is Biggs, and I've been living in the Philippines for 17 years. So I got there by coincidence from Australia and fell in love with the place and sold my dive shop in Australia and moved there. Long story made short, now I own one of the dive operations in Amonini and represent two others around the world in all different dive shows as well. And yeah, I'm going to show you 3 different resorts, which are not only diving, so it's basically sustainable. Each resort has a connection with the community and has a connection with the ocean, of course, and everyone does a little bit of good things to not just concentrate on diving and having people in the resort. So I'm going to share the screen, but I'm disabled. Host disabled participant screen sharing.
Sorry, 1 second, and I will fix that problem.
Tonight's the night of technical difficulties.
All right, you should be good now.
Good now. Perfect. Okay. Okay, everyone can see it?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Obviously all know where the Philippines is. Has anyone to the Philippines? You guys all been to the Philippines?
No, not me.
Yes.
Yes, for me too.
Yes, you arranged a trip for us there once. It was great.
Oh, did we lose Biggs?
Zoom is doing something funny. Technical difficulties for Paul coming in my screen. You see my screen, huh? The slideshow?
No, we see you.
Perfect.
For some reason
Nice.
it unshared.
Okay. It's really the night of greatness, huh? Share. Go.
There you go.
Got it?
Yes.
There we go.
You can still see it, huh? No.
Yeah. Perfect.
Okay. So go. Everybody knows where the Philippines is. If you ever been there. So the three rivers.
Uh-oh.
I'm on super strong internet, huh? Can you see screen?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's do this. Can you back up a slide?
So maybe the folks that are not everyone else maybe should mute their, take their video offline. That might help.
So Biggs, what I was going to suggest is if you go back to your first slide,
Yeah.
why don't we start back there, and then I'll have a clean cut point for the video that gets posted. So Mackenzie, would you reintroduce Biggs on this screen? And then we'll go from there.
I think that sounds like a good idea. Hopefully, have a smoother start for the YouTube video.
And Biggs, if you would put it in slideshow mode.
Oh, it looks like Biggs froze. Can you hear us, Biggs?
Mackenzie, maybe you can loan her your hotspot.
Maybe Biggs turn off your video. Maybe
No, that
can
won't
you
work.
hear us? Huh?
We need her video.
Listening, at least if she didn't have her video, then maybe that would help on the bandwidth on her side.
Yeah,
I
but
have super strong here at Kids Camp bandwidth, huh? I'm in the office, so it's full blast.
I don't know why it keeps. So if you would go ahead and put it in slideshow mode, Biggs.
It also looks like her video feed is freezing, at least on my end, it looks like it.
Every time I hit the slideshow, it kicks me off.
Huh.
I've never seen that before.
Certainly a new one.
All right, well then don't go into slideshow mode.
Can you see the screen? What can you see now?
I see the screen. You're in, kind of the
Yeah,
regular
the overview.
PowerPoint mode. Maybe if you just shrink the thumbnail column, you know, squeeze it to the left, then it'll make the slide bigger.
And then undock the menu from like the kind of top right corner as well. Maybe we'll just go, yeah, that little arrow.
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Okay,
looks pretty good.
we go reverse psychology. Maybe that works. Okay.
Okay. So now,
Okay, we'll start from scratch and do a reintroduction and all that. So
perfect.
Biggs, Philippines, the fifth. Bam.
okay, welcome everyone to the February 2024 NCUPS meeting. Tonight we have Biggs Eggert giving us a presentation on diving around the Philippines and a few of the resorts there. So with that, we'll welcome Biggs and hand the reins over to her to present.
Hi guys, my name is Biggs. I've been in the Philippines for the last 17 years, for the guys who don't know me, and I own one of the dive operation there called Amonini Dive. And I do all the sales and marketing around the world for the 3 boutique resorts, which you're gonna see tonight. And we just not normal dive resorts or your usual average dive resort. We sort of go the extra mile to offer everybody not only diving, but also sustainable work together with the communities and obviously with our beloved ocean. So I'm going to show you the 3 resorts. We're going to start off, and now it won't work. Are you there again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Will the arrow keys index it?
Yeah, well, it will not let me. Oh, here we go. Now we go. Okay. Sorry, guys. Technical evening. We're gonna go through the 3 resorts. There you can see them. Amonini is in the island of Bohol. And then you have Salaya Beach Houses. It's on the island of Negros, and it's on Negros Oriental. And then you have our newest place, Manami, which is also on Negros, but it is on Negros Occidental on the other side. So all resorts have something very unique to offer, which I'm going to go through right now. At the end, we're going to do a Q&A. So if you have any questions, write them down, and then we can answer them at the end. Okay, how to get to the Philippines for you guys who've never been there. From San Francisco or LA, you can get a direct flight on United or Philippine Airlines. Takes about, I would say, 1 dinner, 3.5 movies, and a breakfast, and then you're there. Or about 12 to 13 hours. It just depends on the wind, if you have tailwind or headwind. And then in Manila Airport, you usually can change within a few hours of arrival to your connecting flights down to the islands in the Visayas where we are. So there's about 6 to 8 flights a day to both islands. First of all, we go to the island of Negros. So you're gonna land in Dumaguete Airport here. So it's an hour flight. You go up, have a snack, have a coffee, and come straight back down. And then the resort is 20 minutes away. The resort itself, as you can see, Negros is a volcanic island, and therefore it has no black sand, no white sand. It's like Mocachino in between, as you can see there. It only has 9 units, so it's very boutique style and very personalized, like all the other places as well. I'm going to show you tonight. I just do a couple of slides of the resort itself, so you know what it looks like on the inside before we go into the diving side of it. So we have 3 of those buildings, which each have a 1-bedroom unit at the bottom and 2-bedroom penthouses at the top. All in all is 9 units for 5 1-bedroom units and 4 2-bedroom units. These are just the 1-bedroom units, so nice and spacious, and everything has ocean view. This also has a tropical outdoor shower as well. And then obviously food is very important after you've done amazing diving. So there's our restaurant, and to make sure that you definitely will never lose weight when you come to the Philippines. We spoil you in all destinations with incredible food, local and international cuisine. We also have a spa, so before or after, or for the non-diving partners, you can have the spa. We have a gym, you have yoga, or you do your gym by going diving. So obviously we have a fantastic dive shop. Nitrox is complimentary, and obviously all three places are oriented on photography. So each of you guys have a nice setup where you can keep your cameras and have a nice area where they're safe to change your batteries. This area, you get quite spoiled. In all destinations, we do everything for you. So we set up your equipment. You just have to walk yourself onto the boat. When you come on the big bunker boats, we also take your fins off, you take the equipment off, and you go onto the big boats. For anyone that has not been in the Philippines, it's one of the best dive boats in the world. Nice, spacious, and traditional. So you just jump off in the front on a giant stride, and then the ladders come down on the side. When we go diving, like I said before, you come up, you have a nice hot face towels, you get fresh pressed coffee, you get warm muffins or salted caramel squirrels or any of those which are making you a little hungry for the rest of the day. We have 2 bunker boats there, and we have a speedboat. And then the diving. We have one of the most pristine dive sites on, and classed as one of the top 50 dive sites in the world, is Apo Island. As you can see, it's a marine protected area since 1982. So it's very well protected, big fields of corals, drop-off walls. So from a photography point of view, it's fantastic for wide angle. So there you also have current dives where you have big schools of jackfish and the occasional white tip or black tip coming past that area as well. Lots of turtles, so it's great for beginners and for obviously the advanced divers. Obviously, Philippines is known for its macro diving. People call it mac, I call it macro, because to me mac means like I can't see anything in the mud. But on Apo Island, you definitely need to put on your wide angle lens in order to capture the beauty of that place. It is really phenomenal diving. If you go to the local dive sites, their dive sites are done all in marine protected areas. So you have the darker sand and you swim inside the protected area, and then you either do a loop or swim straight through. And then you have everything that you usually have on your bucket list. So some of the dive sites, you just go down on sand and you're thinking, what am I paying for? I'm just in sand. But the dive guide will just ask, are you ready? And then the treasure hunt begins. We have the very well known at the top here, Shaun the Sheep, little tiny nudibranchs, which probably most of you know, and harlequin shrimp, ghost pipe fish, anything like this. I can't get rid of this down here. And at the top there, you can see our house reef. So from Salaya, you can also dive off the front of the resort. So we can carry your tank in there. But usually the dive sites are maximum 15 to 20 minutes away. And they do 2 morning dives, an afternoon dive, and a mandarin fish or a night dive as well. This area is quite strict when it comes to night diving. You need to be out of the water by 7 p.m. according to the local government. So the night dives are starting at sunset 5:30 and then turning into a night dive. We work together with a local area as well. So beside only the diving, we also work together with the women of Darwin and of Apo Island. So where they actually make, I don't know if you've seen it on some of the shows, but they're making out of recycled clothes. They're making little animals, soft toys, so to speak, which are filled with plastic, which they find from the ocean, and they wash the plastic and they basically fill the inside with that. We have in Amonini, we adopted the frogfish. There you can see they're making all kinds of different areas. We actually give the proceeds in our resort in Amonini when we sell this. are going to our coral restoration area. So you're actually helping double when you buy one of this. You're helping the community in Darwin, the women's community, and you are helping us. And we put it back in our coral restoration area. They're pretty famous. Even Levi's is supporting them by now. So it's nice to give back. Those women really, especially during Corona, they were very happy to have that as the setup. Beside diving, obviously, there's a lot of things to do above the surface. So we have waterfalls, you have zip lines, you have city tours, hot springs. You can go also to the whale sharks in Oslo. You can do biking around the area. We have geothermal power plant. So the entire island is actually green energy because it comes from geothermal from Negros, from the volcano, which is on the island. That is the view from the front. So you basically can see Upper Island in the distance there. So it's right by the beach. And the diving, we have maximum 4 divers to 1 dive guide. If some of you guys would have big cameras, you have your own guide. So it is very not your average dive resort where you just get dumped in a big group. So it's very much, we let you know what you want to see, and then they take you to the certain spots. From there, we go on to an island hopping, what we say. We basically take the fast ferry from Dumaguete Pier. It takes about maximum 2 hours, usually hour and 45 minutes. And then you setting across to the island of Bohol. Bohol has also Tagbilaran Pier and has Panglao. Panglao is sort of we call it the Ibiza of Bohol. So it's a very busy place. And it's also got one of the famous islands called Balikasag, which you can only do if you stay in the island of Panglao here. However, our team from Amonini picks you up and you go on a 2-hour drive along a beautiful coastline, and you're going to end up here. Amonini is open for 10 years now, and we own the 2 white sand bay. As you can see, there is no karaoke, no nightclubs, no nothing. It is very remote, and it therefore has phenomenal diving. The first 3 years I was there, I never saw another diver in the water. So everyone's going like, what are you doing there? Nobody realized how amazing the diving is. You can see also the reef, where in Negros it is gentle slope, then going down gradually. Here you have wall diving. The top of the reef is about 9 to maximum 15 feet. And it's just a carpet of soft corals and hard corals and lots of turtles. We actually have turtles nesting every year in the beach. That's the reason why we created a marine protected area right in front of the resorts. The resort itself only has 16 rooms. So it is also very boutique style. It sits on 4 acres of land. So even if we are busy and fully booked, you wouldn't even realize it because it's a very big property. And we're not only a dive resort. So you have a lot of non-divers as well. The inside of the room, every piece of furniture except the electrical is all handmade on the island or within the Philippines. The resort itself is also owned by Philippines owner, Fred and Karen, which Fred is always around, so you get to meet him if you are there. We have a small spa there, nice open air restaurant overlooking the pool. And yep, back to the amazing food in Amonini as well. And there we also have a lot of things to see above. Bohol has coral limestone, not volcanic island. And we are very famous for the tarsier, I call it monkeys, but actually it is a primate. And then we have the chocolate hills. They're called chocolate hills. We have over 1,400 of them because in the dry season, they'll become like Hershey Kisses, the chocolate. So the top becomes very brown. There you can do zip biking, zip lining, river cruises. We have phenomenal rice terraces with waterfalls. So it's a very adventurous island. We have the hanging bridge over the Lobog River. So it is really beautiful on the day you don't want to go diving before you fly. This is the dive operation right by the beach. So like I said, we always do the briefings ahead of time, very small groups. Here I have 8 dive guides, and from the 8 dive guides, I have 5 marine biologists. So they actually can educate you on what you get to see. And we always ask everybody, give us a list of things you would like to see, because that depends where we're going to go, where we're going to take you. There you can see also our big camera room at the top and our equipment area. Again, you don't have to do anything. We set everything up and carry it to the boat. In Amonini, you have 38 dive sites to choose from. Most of them are maximum 15 minutes away. The one a little bit further away are those macro sites only. So it's very shallow, only 30 feet. And we just go there for 2 back-to-back dives, but there will be 2 2-hour dives, or depending on how long your air lasts. We have 2 dives in the morning at 8:30 and at 11. We have 2 dives in the afternoon at 2:30 and at 4. We have a Mandarin fish dive at 5 and a night dive at 6. So out of that schedule, anyone can choose what you like. Again, there I have 2 bunker boats and 1 speedboat. You can see our speedboat. And this is the top of the reef. So it's really like an aquarium. When you do your safety stop, it actually turns into a safety tour. So it's very difficult for our dive guides to get you out of the water, because I'm sure you still have enough air and there's so much to see when you come on top of the wall. The maximum depth on the wall is about 60 to maximum 90 feet. You can see very healthy corals, soft corals and hard corals. And then we go into the heaven of mackerel. So there we really have the best of both worlds. You have wide angle on the wall, and especially on top of the wall, plus the wall itself is full of mackerel. So you have like from dragon shrimp to Coleman shrimp. You really have everything that should be on your list. We have 2 Mandarin fish dive sites where we go out at 5 o'clock, and we usually never take more than 1 group, which is maximum 4 divers, in order to assure that you also get the proper photo. And we have a lot of octopus. So we have 8 different kinds. One of the famous ones is also our algae octopus, which we have, and usually in mid-April till the start of June, they have the mating season. And if you go on a night dive, you sometimes see 3, 4, 5 different kind of octopus on one dive. Yeah, again, speaks for itself. A lot of super macro and no macro. We work together very closely with the iSeahorse project. So we have a lot of pygmy seahorses, especially still on every sea fan. We also talk to our divers and let them know a seahorse doesn't have eyelids. So we tell them, after you've taken 5 or 10 images of a seahorse, our dive guide will tap you on the shoulder and just say, okay, let's move on, so you don't sit in front of it and fry it with the 50,000 lumens or whatever some people might have. But it's very easy to take a photo there, because they literally are still almost on every sea fan. Can also try some full face masks. We also treat snorkelers in exactly the same way as divers. So we actually have the full face mask with communication. So we give them a tour, because 80% of normal people which are not diving and just snorkeling, they don't duck dive down, they're on the surface. And we send a marine biologist out to actually explain to them what they see under the water, and they can even talk back to us as well. So they're thoroughly enjoy it to be treated in the same way as a diver. We have the whale sharks. We're actually on the migration path to southern later from the whale sharks. So we have often, if you look away from the wall, the whale sharks going past, especially in the first 6 months of the year. However, there also is a station where the fishermen have the whale sharks when they're cleaning their boats and feeding them, and they're there for 2 hours a day or something. And we go to that. You can do a 60-minute dive, or you can do a 30-minute snorkel with them. But often you see them just swimming by in nature past Amonini. And then this is our very project which we are very proud of, Dive with a Purpose. So in our marine protected area in the front, we have a massive coral restoration area. We had planted about 70,000 corals in the front together with our marine biologists and our clients. However, the storm that came through a couple of years ago, anything that was man-made sort of got pretty much pulled into the deep. So some of the areas we have to start again. But during that time also, we started a new project with giant clams. The giant clam nursery really got affected due to the storm. So we actually had over 2,000 giant clams brought in because the nursery had no electricity, so they had to put them somewhere. And we picked them up and made cages for them and put them in front in the area. Most of them, as soon as they grow big enough, we place them along the coastline. And all our divers are encouraged to come and help us planting corals and also cleaning the giant clams. And then we place them wherever it's needed. So we have about 200, 250 left of the 2,000. We also had shark project there. So we did a monument for the thresher sharks. And yeah, as you can see, it's a very, very remote place, beautiful white sand beach. But yeah, the team and the crew which is there, then like a Filipino does, within 1 minute, they know your name, they know exactly how you like your coffee, and the dive team become really your family, your friend. These are the airports. So you have Bohol Airport. It's brand new airport, just opened 6 months before Corona, shut everything down. So it's very spacious. It's modern. It's air conditioned. You have also Cebu Airport. You can go to Cebu from us by a ferry. It takes about 2 hours by a fast ferry. And the new international airport in Cebu is very nice. Manila is still a challenging airport because we have 4 terminals which are not interconnected. So you basically need to take a transfer from one airport to another, but we arrange that also. We have a meet and greet person there because it can be quite overwhelming of which terminal to go to depending on what airline you are flying with. So these are the 2 resorts, so you can combine them together. And then we have our new resort, which is on back to the island of Negros, in Negros Occidental, Manami Resort. And actually the Manami Resort, the owners are cousins of the owners of the Amonini Resort. So you can see a little bit of familiar looks. And there you can see, you can either combine it with Salaya or just do it by itself. If anyone is ever doing, a lot of our European guests, they're doing 3 resorts together because they like that they can plant coral, help ghost net removal in Negros, do a little bit of a different kind of dive holiday, and then they would start in Amonini, so they will fly into Tagbilaran, then they will do Salaya here, and then they finish up in Manami. And there's also an airport up here in Bacolod. It's about the same distance, about 3.5 hour drive. Bacolod city also has about, I think, 11 flights from Manila every day. And this is Manami, also very secluded in a private bay with only 16 rooms. So it's got a similar setup as well. Now you know why you have to do this last. The rooms are the highest end class, even if it's the same price range, but it is really a magical place when you're there. It has 2 pools and it's facing the sunset. All the other resorts are facing the sort of semi-sunrise, but this one is straight onto the sunset, which is absolutely beautiful when you sit there in the evening. Sunset bar, again, phenomenal spa there for your non-divers, or at the end of your stay when you are not diving so much anymore, you can chill out there. It looks a little bit like Palau, so there's a lot of archipelagos there where you can go in for diving. So there really the dive spots are endless as well, from macro to wide angle. There's some underwater shoals where when I was there in December, we saw some black tip and white tip reef sharks. A lot of mangroves in the area, can dive. And again, macro heaven. So you can do local dive sites maximum 15-20 minutes away. Again, you do 2 morning dives and 2 afternoon dives, and they also have mandarin fish and do a night dive there. And then you can do a phenomenal trip to Danhugen Island. Danhugen Island is also a marine protected area, and there you really have everything from wall diving to a gentle slope on the other side of the island. And it is a nice trip where you can do 2 dives in the morning and 1 dive in the afternoon. The marine parks, we try to go there as often as we can, because the marine park fees we pay for our guests, actually the rangers on the island, and there's also a small resort on the island, they really protect and take care of the island. So it's not like that the money goes into the government pocket and you never see anything from it. So they're really doing a nice setup there. You can also do a day trip to Turtle Island and what we call, they're called a Mad Max Pier. So on the left-hand side, you can see an old copper mine and a pier, and there's really full of macro again. So you can have 1 pylon or 2 pylons where you just spend your entire dive looking for macro. And there's also a small Second World War wreck on the right-hand side, close to Danhugen Island as well. Like you can see, there's also wide angle and macro together. Manami has a very big community around them. So there's a lot of farming going on. There is seaweed farming going on and farming of shells and clams. So what Manami, the owner, did is they actually work together with the, mainly it's the women who are doing that. And when they do the shells and it's for the market and people eat the shells, they actually have a program where they can return the empty shells and then they will turn it into arts and crafts. And this is a big chandelier which they've made out of shells which are not used anymore, but they're all farmed shells. So they're not shells from directly from the ocean. And there you can see the phenomenal sunset right in front of Manami. When you have low tide or king tide, it gets quite low tide in front. So then you have that little, below the sun, you can see the little cabana in the ocean, which always stays there. And just out there is a very, very nice house reef. You can go for a dive or a snorkel. And this one, again, you get spoiled with incredible food. Between your dives on all places, you have exactly what I explained to you before. You have marine biologists here as well as you have hot towels and all the little gimmicks we give you to go the extra mile on that. So they can see it's basically the 3 resorts, which are all on a similar standard, and not only providing something from a diving point of view, they all make sure they take care of the ocean. We're giving back and working together with the local community. One of another thing I do in Amunini is my marine biologists. They're coming from the local marine biology school, and I've adopted them many years ago to train them up to dive masters. And I have 2 new starting again this month and train them up to dive master and instructor, which is quite nice because when you change one person's life, it actually changes probably 100 people, because one family feeds another family, and most of them have between 3 to 15 children, and they all live on close vicinity. So it always feels good if you can change somebody's life and leave a good footprint in somebody's life instead of just the sand. Have you guys got any questions on any of the resort or the diving or?
One question I had was actually on the seasonality of things. Like, how does that affect whether it be either the weather or what you're seeing and all that? What is that like?
Usually in the Philippines, where we are in the Visayas, we are below the typhoon belt. So usually the typhoon season or hurricane season starts in July. It's supposed to be July, August, September. In the last 17 years, it's definitely climate change. The weather has changed dramatically. In the first 6 months of the year, sort of February, March, April, May, and June, you can go anywhere in the Philippines. We also have the famous Tubataha Reef. So the liveaboards go out there, but they only go out February, March, April, May, and a little bit of June. So if you even want to go, a lot of things to see north of Manila, where the Banave rice terraces are. But again, you only can go there first half of the year, because second half of the year, it's not a rainy season like Thailand, where you have monsoon rain every day for 3 months. You have a lot of thunderstorms where the world's going under for 2 hours, and then it opens up again, and you basically have blue sky again. In Amun Ini, it can be in July, August, when the winds are switching, that we have to dive and go out from the backside from the river instead of diving right out the front. So I always say July, August can be 50-50. There can be a day where you cannot dive at Amunini. However, in Darwin, where Salaya is, the wind comes from behind, so it's an all year round destination. You can dive no matter what the weather is, unless the Coast Guard has storm signal or something. But other than that, it's diveable the entire time.
Is there any difference on like what you see as far as critters are concerned throughout the year? Or is that
Yeah, definitely. In Negros, you have in the marine protected area, you have a lot of artificial reefs which are overgrown by coral, but there's a lot of mini tiny frogfish, and you have the shown the sheep, the little nudibranchs there. So it's a little bit more super macro critters in Darwin than there is in Amunini. So from that point of view, and because the diving is so different from those places, that's why they complement each other. So if somebody says, okay, I'm going for 10 days, I always recommend, okay, if you can, it'd be nice to do 2 destinations. And it doesn't make sense to do Amunini in Manami. It's too far. It's an all-day transfer. So usually it would be you do Salaya and Manami, or you do Amunini and Salaya, because it is too far away. We also have, obviously, not that far from above Cebu City, you also have Malapascua, the thresher sharks. So if anyone wants to see sharks, that's where you go to see the threshers. And at the moment, there are in maximum 30 to 40 feet of water. They used to be 90 feet. Now they're in a fairly shallow area on Kimot Shoal. I was just there a couple of months ago, and you put your face in the water and it's full of thresher sharks. So it is really nice that they moved into a shallower place for the last over a year now.
Do you
Is
know,
the reason,
Oh, go
know
ahead.
why the sharks moved?
Actually, the rumors has it that there was a lot of tiger sharks in the area, and you also see them on the new area every now and then they see the tiger shark. That's what they said, why they moved. Because they used to be very deep, so it was, you always look at your computer and you stand on a big line, and now they're on a beautiful shore where actually also the coral is very nice still. So they moved more to the Leyte area. But I know that I think this year in May or June also a research team was gonna go there and do some research of why they're going there, and then diving both shoals and figure out if they're still going to the other shoal as well. Any
I
other
gotta
questions?
say, I really enjoyed Celaya when we stayed there a few years back. So it was
Yeah.
pretty fantastic.
Yeah.
That you helped arrange for us, which is really great. We also stayed at Pura Vida Cabilao on the same trip. Are you still doing? Were you representing them? Or?
Pura Vida Kabila was closed
Oh
because of
no!
the the typhoon, the storm, has
Oh.
actually destroyed the reef pretty much. So it really gone over it. I mean, it's the first typhoon in 60 years that went across there. And you know, you had the drop-off walls there with Gorgonian walls and blue corner there, the top of the reef where the table corals were 30 feet wide there. That's all gone.
Yeah, that might have been the best place I've ever dove in my life. That's really, really sad. That
Yeah,
place was beautiful.
when we dived there after the typhoon, we really were crying underwater because I always called it the mini Raja Ampat of the Philippines. It was really phenomenal diving.
That's
So
sad.
the resort itself, it's actually closed. Chris closed it, and yeah, there is still one or two resorts operating on there. If you don't know what it looked like before, now a lot of soft corals has come back over the last 2 years. So it's basically a carpet of soft corals, but nothing. I mean, before it was really yeah, magical.
Yeah, I was just watching the video yesterday. It was great. And one thing we did at Salaya, I didn't see on the menu there at all, was a coffee tour. So as a person interested in coffee plantations, etc., we got them to take us out there and do to
Correct.
a mountainside and explore a coffee plantation, get a full walk around tour and
Yeah,
hike and everything.
exactly.
It's great too.
There is a whole you could make a whole presentation of above the surface what you actually can see and what you can do on all the places. It is really a week is not enough. I mean, our European market, they come 2 to 3 weeks because they have 6 weeks vacation in Europe, and yeah, they enjoy to spend 2 or 3 days above beside the diving because there's a lot of things you can actually arrange from there. And
Right,
you go up into the hot springs, which is really nice.
right.
Sounds fantastic.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Biggs? If not, thank you, Biggs. Certainly
No
appreciate
problem.
the presentation and certainly reminds me why I need to get back there. It's been a few years. It would certainly be fantastic to get back over there.
Yeah.
Kenzie, you let me know when you're ready. We'll share a room.
Yeah, Susan and
Absolutely.
I want to go back too. We keep talking about it. So yeah, maybe we'll all go very soon.
Yeah, we arrange it. Well, if you can choose a time frame to come, it's definitely you know, between February and June, especially you guys all want to have the best possible weather when it comes to photography. And those months are usually, you know, February, March, April, May. My favorite months was always May, start of June, because it's not that many tourists because there's no Easter and before the summer holidays. So also from a flight point of view, it's usually easier to get. Going to the Philippines in starting maybe after the first week of June, July, and August is the most expensive tickets to come to the Philippines because every Filipino is going home. So it's peak season for Filipinos to go, and the tickets go up $500-600 or more.
Oh, that's good to know. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, another good time is the first 2 weeks of December because nobody travels then. Your Thanksgiving is done, and they're all waiting for Christmas, and the weather is great.
Well, that gives us then a little bit of time to plan and figure out when we can get a few of us together to go over there, because
Yeah,
certainly there's a few of us here that want to get back, and I know there's others that want to go too. So
yeah.
Hey,
maybe
Biggs,
we'll get our
when is whale shark season?
Usually the first 6 months, but we have them coming through all year. But the whale sharks in Lila is like the similar setup than Oslo, so that you're all year round. But in Bohol, in Lila, where we go to the whale sharks, it's only an hour, 15 minutes by car, and there's only us and one more dive operator that goes there. So it is not as overrun as the other place in Oslo.
Hmm.
It's very calm. We go there very early in the morning, and we go there with our guides and everything. So we go maybe twice a week at the moment for the last few months, and we never had anyone not being happy.
Excellent.
Susan made it.
There she is.
Hello. Hi, Big. Sorry I didn't make it
Hey.
in time. It's a long drive from
Oh,
San
that's all right.
Francisco to Los Altos.
You only miss technical difficulties.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it all worked out.
All be fine. How you been? All good?
Been good.
Very good.
Yeah, and congratulations, I hear.
Oh yeah. That's
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for the honeymoon. Hasn't
Huh?
done yet. Too busy traveling around the world.
So where does one go when they work and live in beautiful places for a honeymoon?
You know, it's everyone sings this bikini and cocktails, which means we do our job. But yeah, whenever I'm there, it's never, there's always something to do. 1 + 1 is 11, and there's always a boat to repair or something
Yeah.
breaks. You need
But it's in beautiful country. So do
Yeah,
you want something
exactly.
different is what I was thinking. Because you're always
You're
looking for
surrounded by
ocean.
MacGyvers, so there's always a MacGyver around the corner somewhere who can fix it.
We were just talking about how we need to get a trip together for a bunch of us to go over to the Philippines because it's been a while since I've been there. Paul, even though it seems like he's going to be there in a couple weeks, pretty much, he was ready to go back again after that trip. And Brad was talking about you guys going there a few years ago, so it seems like there's plenty of us.
I've never
Yeah.
been. I've never
I
been to the
cannot
Philippines.
believe you've never been to the Philippines, Nancy. That just seems wild.
Nancy, you should
I've
go.
done a whole lot of tropical diving. I've done a lot more cold water, but
Yeah.
I am signed up with any water sports to go down to Cozumel. And we're gonna, and the person that they have me sharing a room with, who I haven't met, but she lives in Pacific Grove. She's adding on a trip to Cancun to the what do you call them?
The cenotes.
Cenotes, yeah, to the cenotes for 2 days. So I'm gonna do that with her.
Cool. That'll be a fun trip.
Good choice. Worth the extension.
Awesome. Well, if we have no more questions for Biggs, I know it's late for her side of things, and I know she's jet lagged beyond belief, flying all over the place right now. So a big thank you to you for the presentation. We certainly appreciate it.
Thank you so much for having me.
It was
Thank
great.
you.
And anything you need, you know how to find me on my WhatsApp, no problem at all. And I will all think of you next Friday when I'm sipping pina coladas in the pool.
Nice.
Good luck with your storms.
Thanks.
Ready some
Thank-
rooms for us.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, Biggs.
Yeah.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.
Okay. Since seems like there's just a few mini comp entries and all that, I'm thinking maybe we'll just push the mini comps to March and we'll just do a combined February and March set of mini comps. So that's about all we have for tonight. For the board meeting next week, which is at least a few of us, Brad, have you gotten a chance to talk to Roundtable to see if we can do something in person there Tuesday night? You're muted.
Requires, we still need to check the speed. That requires some other. I don't know, maybe Susan can answer this. Is it possible to check the speed of the Verizon speed at Roundtable?
When you're connected, then you just do a speed test.
Okay, because I can only check AT&T. I didn't know if you could
Yeah.
select which network you're on your phone.
Oh yeah, you just disable the other one.
Okay, all right. Well, we need to check and see if we can get a good internet speed at the place still.
Okay.
With Susan's phone, I think in this case, so we can see if there's at least something better than AT&T at least. Not that we necessarily need to use her hotspot. That's probably difficult because she has a lot of, she's in San Francisco till past meeting start times, but at least
Guys.
we can find out maybe if we can get a good hybrid type meeting going up there, that'd be great. We were
Yeah,
talking about
that's-
doing a board meeting there, weren't we?
Well, yeah, we were thinking about doing the board meeting there Tuesday night. That's why.
Oh, I'm thinking in terms of future club meetings. Okay.
We can call them tomorrow and see.
Okay.
That's fine while they're open. So see what's
That
on their
sounds good.
schedules.
And then pending that, we'll either do a board meeting in person with a possible hybrid option, so we can stress test the network there if it seems reasonable, or if it doesn't seem reasonable, then we'll just do a
End up
remote
at our
meeting.
house on Tuesday, leave the pizza place.
I guess we can always do that as a backup. Just be
It's
like, okay,
close.
that's certainly a possibility. That's not a bad idea. Obviously, wouldn't want to just crash it, but
Well,
if you're
I mean,
inviting,
the board meeting's small, so
That's
that's a good test. So if somebody's at home and you need to reach them, you guys can just drive over and use our internet.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, it was good to see everyone. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of your weekend. With it being Super Bowl
Happy
weekend
Valentine's Day.
and Valentine's Day is coming up.
Get
And
your
go
cards and
Niners.
flowers.
Just saying, no Packer or
Kansas
Packers
City.
are out and no Kansas City, right? Taylor Swift fans, I'm sorry.
Exactly.
Oh,
Get your guacamole ready.
yep. Load up on that.
Ken, are you in
Awesome.
Tahoe?
What's that?
Is Ken in Tahoe?
Ken, where are you?
Ken's frozen.
Oh, Ken's frozen. I was
Oh.
thinking, yeah, well, the
No,
snow
he's not.
started.
He's moving.
No, it's nice now.
Okay. Hopefully Ken's getting some slope time in.
Hello. Yeah, just coming through. But with that, it is good to see everyone. And at least for the board members, we'll see you guys Tuesday night. And all that. So I'll send out all that information officially and all that. So good to see you guys. And we'll talk to you later.
And happy Mardi Gras too. I almost forgot.
Well,
Ooh,
and
most
Ash Wednesday's
important.
coming up too. You got them all, man.
All your major holidays. All right, guys.
See you guys.
Have a good weekend.
Bye.